Tonight, we expose one of Mumbai's most diabolical criminal partnerships, a case where a former underworld gangster married a model, then weaponized her beauty to lure wealthy victims into death traps. Picture this: April 2012, Mumbai. A 67-year-old Delhi businessman arrives at his son's upscale Lokhandwala apartment for a family visit.
Within hours?
He's dead murdered by men his son considered close friends. Days later, a 28-year-old aspiring film producer vanishes after meeting a stunning woman who promised him Bollywood connections. Both crimes share a single mastermind: Vijay Paland, a former gangster who worked for underworld Don Santosh Shetty, and his secret weapon, his own wife model, Simran Sood, whose beauty became a lure for men who would never leave her company alive. This is the story of the Tiku Kakad, double murders where a honeytrap partnership between husband and wife left a trail of bodies across Mumbai. All for the oldest motive in crime: property and money. Vijay Paland was no ordinary criminal. He had spent years working as an enforcer for Santosh Shetty, one of Mumbai's notorious underworld dons. In that violent world, Paland learned the mechanics of intimidation, extortion, and murder. But after serving prison time for earlier crimes, Paland emerged with a new strategy, one that would prove far more insidious than brute force. His secret weapon was his wife, Simran Sood, a model from Punjab. The couple had married quietly in 1998 or 1999, but Simran kept this marriage hidden from everyone she met. Publicly, she presented herself as a glamorous, unattached woman navigating Mumbai's entertainment industry. It has now emerged that Simran Sood is not Vijay Paland's friend, but his wife, a crime branch official revealed during the investigation. After the marriage, Paland was involved in a crime and was behind bars for a few years. After he was freed, he started using his wife to trap victims for money and property. At the time of her arrest, Simran claimed to be 28 years old, though investigators discovered she was actually 38. The age deception was part of a carefully constructed persona designed to attract wealthy, successful men who would never suspect the beautiful woman charming them was married to a killer. The first victim, Karan Kumar Kakad. Karan Kumar Kakad was a 28-year-old aspiring film producer from Delhi who had come to Mumbai chasing Bollywood dreams. Young, ambitious, and perhaps naive about the entertainment industry's darker corners, Kakad was the perfect target. Simran approached him through film industry circles, presenting herself as a connected insider who could open doors. She introduced Paland as her brother, a trusted family member who could help Kakad navigate Mumbai's complex entertainment ecosystem. The relationship developed over weeks. Kakad grew comfortable with the siblings, unaware he was being systematically evaluated as a target. What Paland saw in him wasn't talent or potential, it was vulnerability and assets worth stealing. On the night Kakad disappeared, he believed he was meeting Simran and her brother for another step toward his Bollywood dreams. Instead, he walked into a carefully planned abduction. The Amboli police registered a case of abduction and murder after Kakad's disappearance. Simran Sood was arrested on April 12, 2012, in connection with this crime. She had played her role perfectly, the charming contact who delivered the victim directly into her husband's murderous hands. The second victim, Arunkumar Tiku, if Kakad's murder demonstrated the partnership's lethality. The murder of Arunkumar Tiku revealed its calculated patience and ambition. Arunkumar Tiku was a 67-year-old businessman from Delhi. But more importantly, he was the father of Anuj Tiku, an actor living in a plush apartment in Mumbai's upscale Lokhandwala complex Supreme real estate worth crores. Paland didn't target Arunkumar directly. Instead, he spent months cultivating a friendship with Anuj Tiku. The actor had no idea his new friend was a former underworld gangster whose entire relationship was built on a single objective: stealing the Lokhandwala apartment. Again, Simran played her role flawlessly. She entered Anuj's social circle through Paland, presenting herself as Paland's sister rather than his wife. The deception was complete. Anuj trusted both of them. When Arunkumar Tiku arrived from Delhi to visit his son in early April 2012, Paland saw his opportunity. On April 7, 2012, the 67-year-old businessman was murdered. The plan was brutally simple: eliminate the father, then presumably work toward acquiring the property through manipulation, forgery, or further violence against Anuj. Whether additional murders were planned will never be known, because the investigation moved faster than Paland anticipated. On April 11, 2012, Mumbai crime branch officials apprehended Vijay Palant, along with 2 accomplices, Dhananjay Shind and Manoj Gaikosh. The 3 were arrested in connection with Arunkumar Tiku's murder. 1 day later, on April 12th, Simran Sood was arrested by Amboli police in connection with Arunkumar Kakad's abduction and murder. The arrests connected to seemingly separate murder investigations, revealing a single criminal enterprise operating across Mumbai. What investigators found stunned them. This wasn't a crime of passion or opportunity. It was a systematic operation where a husband-wife team had developed a replicable methodology for targeting wealthy individuals, building trust through the wife's beauty and social skills, then executing victims for their assets. The Palant-Sood partnership operated with chilling efficiency, target identification. Palant identified victims with valuable assets, property, business connections, or family wealth. He focused on individuals who could be approached through Mumbai's entertainment or business networks. The introduction Simran would enter the target's social orbit, presenting herself as an available, glamorous woman with industry connections. Her beauty and charm disarmed targets who never suspected ulterior motives. Building trust, Palant was introduced as Simran's brother, a trusted family member. This relationship framing allowed him close access to victims who would have been suspicious of an unknown man, the kill. Once targets were sufficiently trusting and isolated, Palant and his accomplices executed them. The murders were designed to appear unconnected to the Honeytrap relationship. Asset acquisition. The ultimate goal was always property and money. Whether through forged documents, intimidation of surviving family members, or other means, Palant planned to convert murders into financial gain. Palant's background with Don Santosh Shetty provided crucial infrastructure for his crimes. The underworld connections meant he had access to accomplices willing to participate in murder, knowledge of how to dispose of bodies and evidence, experience evading police investigation, networks for laundering stolen assets. The Honeytrap methodology was an evolution using seduction rather than direct violence for the initial approach. But the execution remained rooted in Palant's gangster training. A growing epidemic, the Tikakad murders represent just 2 documented cases, but Honeytrap crimes have become increasingly common across India. The methodology has proven devastatingly effective because it exploits fundamental human vulnerabilities: trust and romantic interest. Victims believe they're pursuing a genuine romantic connection, lowering their guard completely. Male shame. Many Honeytrap victims, those who survive extortion attempts, never report crimes due to embarrassment about being fooled by a woman. Intimate access. The romantic context gives perpetrators access to victims' homes, finances, and personal information that no other approach could provide. False accusations. Many Honeytrap gangs threaten victims with false rape accusations, using India's legal system as a weapon. The threat of public humiliation and criminal prosecution silences victims. In 2024 to 2025, police in Visakhapatnam exposed another Honeytrap operation with disturbing similarities to the Palant-Sood partnership. Koraprello Joy Jamima, a 28-year-old woman, allegedly led a gang that targeted wealthy men, including NRAs. Her modus operandi was chillingly systematic: contact victims through social media, befriend them, lure them to guest houses, drug them with sedative-laced drinks, take compromising photographs, then blackmail them for money. She also allegedly filed false rape complaints against some victims as additional leverage. If anyone turned out to be victim of such frauds, they should come forward and file complaints. The Vizag City Police Chief appealed, acknowledging that many victims remain silent. What makes Honeytrap crimes particularly insidious is how they weaponize gender expectations. Society conditions men to pursue romantic opportunities while simultaneously shaming those who are fooled by women. This creates a perfect storm for criminals. Victims are predisposed to trust attractive women, then too embarrassed to report when that trust is violated. The result is massive underreporting. Police believe the documented cases represent only a fraction of actual crimes. In the Palant-Sood case, both victims likely trusted Simran precisely because she was beautiful, charming, and presented herself as a gateway to success. Their trust and natural human response to an attractive, friendly person became their fatal vulnerability. Following their arrests, Palant, Simran, and their accomplices faced murder charges. The investigation revealed the full scope of their partnership, a marriage literally built on murder. The case became a landmark example of how honey trap operations can escalate from extortion to homicide, while many honey trap gangs stop at blackmail and robbery. The pal-ensued partnership demonstrated the ultimate danger: perpetrators willing to kill for assets. For the families of Arunkumar, Tiku, and Karankumar Kakad, justice meant confronting a horrifying reality. Their loved ones were murdered by people they trusted, victims of a criminal enterprise that exploited human connection as a weapon. Law enforcement officials have identified common warning signs of honey trap operations: attractive strangers initiating contact through dating apps or social media, rapid escalation of intimacy and trust, requests to meet in private or unfamiliar locations, introduction of family members or friends who seem unusually interested in the victim's finances, pressure to share personal or financial information. Any form of recording during intimate encounters. The Tiku Kakad murders force us to confront uncomfortable realities about trust, attraction, and vulnerability. Vijay Paland understood something fundamental: people let their guard down around those they find attractive. His wife became the perfect weapon, not despite being his spouse, but because of it. Their partnership was literally built on the premise that Simran's beauty could be weaponized for murder. How do we protect ourselves without becoming paranoid? How do we pursue genuine human connection while remaining alert to those who would exploit that desire? And what does it say about society that the shame of being fooled by a honey trap keeps so many victims silent, allowing predators to claim victim after victim? What do you think? Should honey trap crimes carry enhanced penalties given their exploitation of human vulnerability? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this exploration of the honey trap murders, where marriage became a murder partnership and beauty became a weapon, disturbed you, hit like, subscribe to Silent